All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the T.R.I.P Podcast, the Toledo Real Estate Investing Podcast. And today I have a very special guest. We have Jodey Thomas with Nexa Mortgage. How are you, Jodey?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. So Jodey is with Nexa Mortgage. He's actually a mortgage broker here in Toledo, and he's here to discuss, and we're going to have a conversation about all things regarding getting started as a mortgage broker, being a mortgage broker, and some insights from a mortgage broker on real estate investing in the current real estate market. So I'm really excited for today's episode, guys.
Yes, me too.
So Jodey, I mean, me and you, we've known each other for almost over a year. I want to say about a year and a half now, almost 2 years. So I mean, tell me, from your perspective, how did you get started in real estate, in mortgages?
So it started about 11 years ago. I lived in Columbus, Ohio, and I graduated college. I moved out there and got into insurance. I had an ill family member back here at home and had my degree, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to start over again. So that got me into banking instantly as a personal banker for 1 year. After that, that's basically the time of TRID. If you guys remember TRID, the new mortgage laws, I came in with that. After a year of that, I was a mortgage loan officer, and I never looked back.
What year was that?
2014.
Okay.
And then to now, I was in banking up until about 2021. And then I left the banking world and I came into the broker world, which opened up many doors for me and many different types of loans. Very smart move. Glad I did it, and never going to look back.
So for somebody that's interested in getting into mortgages or just interested in like how mortgage brokers and bankers works and what the difference is between those, can you explain the difference between what a banker and what a broker is?
Yes. So when you're with the bank, let's just say XYZ Bank, you have one company that's going to say yes or no. Now, when I'm a broker, now I have 200 different corporations that's going to say yes or no. So if I get a no because somebody's credit's not so good or they don't have the reserves or whatever, we actually have the opportunity to look further for the client and find that yes instead of just that one no and then be done with it.
Gotcha.
It gives my clients much more opportunity to get a better deal for them and find a better opportunity.
Awesome. So essentially with the bank, and this was a question that I had when I first got started as well. So like I always heard of mortgage bankers and brokers. I didn't know the difference. So essentially for the audience, bankers are essentially people that work directly with just one bank, let's just say like Bank of America or Chase or what have you, and they work directly with their products. And with you as a broker, you have access to hundreds of banks with hundreds of other products for mortgages or for loans.
Yes, correct. So with the bank, you're looking at your one underwriter to say yes or no. Fannie Freddie products. Or if you're going to go investment, you got Fannie products that are investor only. With the brokerages, I can actually finance through an LLC. I can do a hard money loan. I mean, it's a world of difference from being a bank to a broker, which helps the clients in many different ways. If you've seen, because we started a project and put it into a fix and flip. And then when it's done, if you don't sell it, we'll just put it back into a 30-year DSCR loan. And then that loan's never going to show up on your personal credit report, and it's going to build your business credit. So at the bank, you don't have that option. You just got your Fannie Freddie option and keep stacking them up onto your personal name. And then they usually cap you out about 10 properties per bank, and then they're going to cut you off and send you elsewhere.
Gotcha. Okay. Awesome. I love that. So when you became a broker, and started that, what were some of the struggles that you had when first getting started as a broker?
Honestly, it's just learning a new system, but it's kind of the same. So instead of asking for your W-2s and your pay stubs, you ask for your LLC documentation and your EIN. Obviously, we still need your ID and bank statements and stuff, but it's a matter of documentation and then where it ends up. Because even in the pricing, like we all know what we've been living in the last year. Very happy to get to 2024. So the
Yeah.
2022 was a rough start, but we're finally coming back down. We're very competitive with our pricing compared to banking, sometimes and most times better.
Awesome. So I know that you work with a lot of investors, people like myself that are buying, fixing and flipping, fixing and holding, and you see that on a daily basis. As far as like insights that you could give to investors, right, specifically, what as a mortgage broker, what are some of the things that you see on the finance side, or when looking at all these properties and taking them up to underwriting and looking at them yourself? What are some things that you see with where with investing, or with where a lot of investors are doing things that maybe they don't see when they're in the middle of the transactions?
Like, so you're talking about the underwriting process, or?
Yeah, underwriting process, like a lot of the deals that come across your desk that, for example, are fix and flips. Like, what are the things that you're seeing with those deals that you see are common, that that maybe some of the investors that are watching this maybe don't get the chance to have like a bird's eye view of? Whether it be I'll let you answer that.
Well, I was just going to say, like, it all depends on the property. So if you find a good property, there's a lot of good deals that are still out there where if you have that equity, we can actually use that equity to help keep cash to close low because you got the equity in the house. So when we see, the big thing for us is the appraisal. So it's really hard getting a right appraiser because some appraisers don't understand it. They don't understand the ARV aspect, after repair value, or whatever in it. They don't appraise it right. So that was my biggest struggle last year, is getting the appraisers that don't normally do the investor loans to understand, hey, this is what we're looking to do. You got the scope of work, and then they got to find comparables with the work that's been completed to get the new ARV value to get you your cash out at the 30-year refinance.
Gotcha. And that's the point that I was trying to bring up, is a lot of a huge limiting belief that I see, not just what I saw with myself earlier, but also with a lot of other people, is, let's say they're out there, they're hunting for deals, they're finding these good deals, and instead of, let's say they're a wholesaler, right, and there's wholesaling these off to other cash buyers, and maybe they decide that one day they want to be the buyer, right? They find this deal, it's a really good deal, they want to take it down themselves, but let's say that they don't have the funding. When I first got started, I was, getting the funding from other people sounded like this huge daunting task. And since working with you, and now I know this on a deep level, and I just wanted you to share that with the audience, that if you have a good deal, the money will follow pretty easily, especially with the products that you bring to the table. I mean, if you just get the deal, the money will follow very, very shortly.
Yes, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Honestly, don't. Things happen. I've seen investors with their 750 plus scores. I've seen them in their 600s. Call a friend. Hey, let's throw you on the operating agreement. Let's get this done. And whatever, you work out your deal. Just because you're in just don't quit, because you can always keep going. There's people out there just like you that want to do it just like you. Partner up, put your assets together, and get the deal done. I've seen a lot of investors that have many different partners, and they do very, very well because they do it smartly and strategically. Therefore, they keep partnering up with different people. They have all these deals going on, and when they all close, everybody's making money and everybody's happy. Yeah. And that's the main goal when it comes to investing.
So what are these partners? So I want to touch on that. What are these partners bringing to the table? Is it funding? Are they funding the equity portion of the hard money loan? Are they helping with renovations? Like, what do you see on your side these partnerships looking like when they're trying to get funding for a property?
Okay, so right now I have an investor out of California. He's got a silent partner on just certain deals, to where that partner, he supplies absolutely everything: down payment, closing costs, everything. At the end of the deal, He cuts them back their money, and whatever they agree upon, that's what they split. And then I have other investors where maybe there's 3 of them on an LLC, and they split everything up evenly. So every transaction is going to be different, and it's what you and that partner agree upon. It can be 1 or 2 people, it can be a handful of people, and they're out there. I mean, I got people in Texas, California, Florida, here, Michigan, Wisconsin, Milwaukee is huge for investing right now. Even down in Oklahoma, their annual taxes on some of these duplexes are like $900 a year. I mean, that's insane. That's cheap.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I was like, and I told him, I was like, Kevin, I might have to start looking down there, dude. It's like that.
Yeah.
Up here, you find a house out in Savannah, there's no way you're going to get that deal. You're paying $4,000 in taxes a year on that.
Definitely.
So rents are pretty comparable. So it's amazing what's out there. Just do your research, and you're going to find some great deals and some great people.
And so what other smart strategies do you see people doing, or maybe that you'd recommend that maybe you don't see enough of people getting being able to get finance? Let's say they're just getting started. Maybe they don't have the money for the down payment, or for points, or for closing costs, or they don't have the experience yet. What do you see? What would you suggest somebody that's like that to do? I know you mentioned partners. Is there anything else that you would recommend doing?
So with the experience, I do have partners that don't require it. As long as the deal makes sense, they will do it. So, and then there's other ones that want to see 10 more plus. I work with coaches. So I have coaches that'll actually hop on an operating agreement with the people that they train to help them get that 10% down rather than put that 20 to 25% down, because they're brand new investors. And then when we refinance them off, the coach is then gone, and it's just the main owners again. But I mean, you could look at a HELOC on your primary residence. You could look at a HELOC on maybe your investment properties. There's unsecured loans. The banks only go back 2 months of looking at your bank statements. Some of my lenders don't care where the money comes from as long as it's in your account. So whether it's a silent partner or a friend, as long as it comes out of your bank account, you can use those funds. You can also use gift funds. You get the appraisal, you got the equity in there on a refinance. I mean, that's your money. That's your equity. You can do whatever you want with it. So get creative. And like myself, like I always take my calls. If I don't answer, I'm going to call you back, because I love helping new investors. It's gotten me to the point where I'm starting to invest myself, because I've been doing this for the last 3 years. It's like, why not do this for myself and my family? Because it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I'll attest to that too, because I know the first property that we did, it was a duplex, and at the time I was not able to come up with the equity portion, because I think it was like a 25% down payment, and I was trying to find ways to get it done, and then how I got it done was exactly what you just said, right? We had partnered up with somebody that was in my market, and we essentially got an operating agreement together and an LLC together, and we went out and we got that hard money to be able to go and fix and flip that duplex, and we ended up doing really well on it. So
really fast.
Really fast. Yeah, we bought it in March of 22, and we sold it in June, like early June. Yeah. So it was a good deal. Yeah, in a really good area. So my point is that, I mean, just to your point, I just want to agree with you there that, guys, I mean, the money's out there. People are willing to work with you. I feel like when people talk about like mortgages and banks, they think of it like you're walking into like Bank of America or like these traditional banks, and everything is so like stringent and like very like, it's very like by the book, which I'm not to say that you guys don't follow the rules, but I'm saying that you guys are able to definitely help them with getting creative and finding other creative options to get them to the closing table.
Yes, hard money. There's always rules and regulations. Yes,
of course.
So hard money is not structured the way that Fannie and Freddie are structured. It's private money. So since it's private money, it's the investor's choice, not the government's choice.
Right.
And then another thing I wanted to throw in there too, a lot of people are afraid of, well, why do I want a rental property? I don't want to deal with tenants. You have a ton of property managers. I even noticed on one of your podcasts, you had Beal Properties. Yep. and
Yep.
he's amazing. He does great work. I follow him on Facebook, and there's people out there to help you make money, and you just sit back and collect. So don't
Yeah.
be afraid. 90% of millionaires get it from real estate.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big number.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid. Do some research. Call us. Ask us. We're here to help you.
And so where do you see people struggle with in real estate? I mean, because I know you look at properties every day. You're helping investors every day. Where do you see a lot of people are struggling at?
Just the unknown. You have a lot of off market properties to where you don't know the issues until you get in it, like start tearing stuff out. Like one instance, cedar shake shingles in Ohio.
Yeah.
If you have cedar shake shingles on there and not OSB, by law, you have to put OSB on there, which is going to add cash to the table. So one of my investors, he's out of state. I went to the house for him. He's like, "Hey, you go check it out for me." And sure enough, his $9,000 quote turned into a $13,900 quote for the roof, just because of that. And that's something you can't control, but it's there, and that's going to be your biggest challenge, is the unknown. But if you're there, you have boots on the ground, you know what to look for. That way, you don't run into those problems.
Gotcha. It just sounds like, and a lot of those unknowns can just be solved by just knowing the right people and just being connected with the right people. For example,
Yep.
Your investor being connected to you to be able to tell him and give him that correct quote. That way, when he buys it, he knows what he's getting into, right? And
Yep.
the same can go for anybody else, especially somebody that's just getting started, right? What I would recommend is to build a team of people, or like a personal, almost like board of directors. I've heard a lot of people say, and I really like that term, a personal board of directors, to where, if somebody, if you're going out there and you're trying to get financing for a fix and flip, or for a property you want to burr out of, or just buy and hold, you don't have to go at it alone, right? Have Jodey at your corner. Have your go-to realtor, your go-to property manager, your go-to partner fix and flipper, or buy and holder. Know people that are doing the same business as you, because at the end of the day, and I've seen this with a lot of, especially in real estate, and this is why I love real estate so much, because I feel like it's one of the only industries where it allows so much collaboration to happen. If you look at like other industries, like let's just say construction, or I don't know, like big tech, or like any of these other like huge industries, Apple and Samsung, collaborating together and creating a product is never going to happen ever. Two roofing companies are never going to like share their best secrets with each other's, right? But in real estate, it happens all the time, right? People are so open to giving out information, because they know if they help you, at the end of the day, it's going to come back to them, right? And they'll help, and they'll just keep helping you, and it'll help them. And it's just that butterfly effect of giving, which that's allowed it to happen in real estate, which makes this like one of my favorite industry to be in, which is why I absolutely love this business. And it's because of people like you, and people that are willing to help, get people from point A, never doing a deal before or buying a deal before, to showing them how easy it is to do it. And when I first worked with you, and I know, especially now working with you on some of our deals now, guys, buying a property for a fix and flip is easy. It's quick. It's not hard at all. Like I said, it just requires you having that those people in your corner, like Jodey, like a property manager, or good contractors that that'll be by your side to make sure that the property gets from point A to point B as quickly as possible. So yeah. As far as so on that point, you said it's quick and easy to get these deals to the closing table. Now, I want to really explain the process of that for somebody that's never done this before, or maybe somebody that has done this before and has maybe had not the best experience. Because a lot of lenders, they take some of them do take a long time, especially if it's hard money. You see a lot of hard money lenders taking 45, 60 days to get the deal to the closing table, right? In an ideal situation, what do you see? Like how does the process work? I was, from getting the property under contract to getting the hard money to the closing table. That hard money piece. How have you how would you walk somebody through getting a hard money loan?
Okay, cool. So you got the property, you got the contract. Once you have the contract, before that, I'm really hoping to already have your LLC documentation, your operating agreement. You make that on your own. You can get a free copy at eforms.com, and then on like a certain day free trial, your EIN, all that stuff. I input the application. It's really simple questions. Name of the person, name of the LLC, birth date, social, where you lived, how long, property address. Is this a bridge or is it a fix and flip? So let's say you had a property that you found for $50,000 that you needed to get, and you only had till tomorrow to close on a bridge. I can do that for you. We'll close in the bridge, and then we'll look at doing the fix and flip. But just to get that property in your name, if that's all you had was one day, we'd do it. Wham, bam, done. But you can get pictures. So I don't need a full walkthrough appraisal on my hard money loans. You get certain pictures. I send you the needs list. Okay. So you take a picture of each room, the water heater, electric panel, and the furnace. We get an online eval of the current as-is value, and then we submit the scope of work with it, which is usually done by the contractor. That way we know exactly what's going to be done, and that's how we get our ARV in the end. That takes, once I submit that online eval for the rich value, it's like a 2-day, 48-hour turnaround, and then we're ready to fund. Little things can be taken care of after closing, but I mean, it really is pretty seamless. As soon as I hit submit, I get an email for insurance, and I get an email for title. So from you, I'm going to have your insurance agent, and then we have our own to quote out, if just to compare, and then title. I'm going to need your title contact, and I put them on it. I put my closing team on it, and the client themselves. That way, everybody knows, hey, this is where we're at. This is what we need. Our closing date is set to be what? So just yesterday, I put one in. I gave my guy a call, Nick, and said, hey, we got this one. He wants to close tomorrow. I was like, I know we can't do tomorrow because we've got the other one still. In reality, when's the quickest we can close this? He goes, we'll close it on Monday. So that was the first day coming off the new year. And then on that Friday, I had closed 3 deals with the same guy that application was put in the week before. So, and talk about a crazy time of the year, the end of the quarter, and especially the end of the year, everybody's running everywhere. The last 2 weeks of the year is one of the hardest 2 weeks to work because a lot of people are not working. So, and then everybody's running slow. The feds, I mean, everything. The wires were coming out slow last Friday. I'm so happy it's 2024 and I made it through those last 2 weeks. And that last week, I think I had 5 closings on Friday. So wow. If you work hard, you're going to get it done. And I'm by your side. I will not quit.
That's awesome. So you're able to get those loans done quickly during the holidays.
Yeah, which is tough.
yeah, what you got it done. And so let's just say somebody...
It's easy. It's really easy, guys. Like a hard money loan is not as hard as you think. Like, yeah, yes, it might be more expensive, but would you rather lose a deal after 30 days or get the deal and get it? I mean, and out of these hard money loans, if you come out of a bank, now banking, you have to have 12 months seasoning before you can do a cash out refinance. I got 0 months, 3 months, 6 months. You name it, you got it. I got a bunch of different lenders that aren't going to make you wait a whole year to get the money back out of your property.
I love it. Guys, take notes because Toledo is it's more of a buy and hold market. So a lot of these people that are buying these properties are buying them for rental purposes, and especially to like burr out of them. So the fact that they can just call you and get a refinance and not have to wait for a 6-month seasoning period or a 12-month seasoning period, that's a game changer for that. That can be a game changer for a lot of people.
And if you're new, try to make your goal. You want that house to be worth $100,000. Because Toledo, there's certain pockets in Toledo where if you don't do much, you're not going to get that value. A lot of the LLC lenders, they want that value of 100. Otherwise, we do have to put it in your personal name. But if you're coming in with a loan for $60,000 on a DSCR loan, debt service coverage ratio, it's an easy ratio to win. I have a lender that has no minimums. It's just got to be financed in your name, DSCR style. So still no W-2s, no pay stubs. It just shows up on your credit report, but it will be deeded in your LLC. And that's with my wholesale partner.
So no minimums. So that means somebody can buy a property for 30,000.
They could,
and they can get funding for it.
yes.
And that includes the rehab. They'll fund the rehab as well.
No, that's after the rehab. I have no minimums on my hard money. You could do a hard money loan for 10,000 and put 10,000 in rehab, and it'd be worth 40 if you really want to. I got you.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, you put that into a 30-year DSCR, and imagine what your monthly payment's going to be on a $40,000 loan.
Not much.
In a 30-year. I mean, you could put it in 12%, which it wouldn't be. I think we're in the low sevens now on our DSCRs, which is amazing. I'm so happy. I didn't do one in the 10s. I got close, but I had a lot of my title contacts be like, Jodey, you're the only one coming in under 10% right now on your DSCR loans. And I was like, well, tell them to call me. So, but we're here. We're back. It's going to be a busy 2024. And I am looking for partners. If you want to do lending, join me. We'll walk the walk together and make lots of money and share business.
Absolutely. And so no minimums. I just want to touch base on that because, let's just say somebody finds a house for, I don't know, let's say your example, 10,000, right? And it needs, say, 20,000 to work. They'll be all in 30,000. They can still get hard money for that, with including it'll be majority of the cost of the property and then all of the rehab, correct?
Yep, as long as the deal makes sense, and if the structure of that property is good, you're good. If the foundation's crumbling and you're not going to fix it, they're not going to touch it. I mean, nobody's going to want to lend on something that's not going to support itself. So, but yes, we have no minimums.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And so I wanna touch here in regards to. I know we kind of touched based on it a little bit throughout the podcast, but the current real estate market, the Fed interest rates and where you see things going, not just in 2024, but in the years to follow. Let's just start with 2024. I know the rates dropped recently before the end of the year, and they're expected to drop, a couple more times this year. What are your thoughts about that? Is that what you see that's going to happen as well? And where do you see the market going in 2024?
So 2024 is a big year because we have a big election. Every election year, rates drop because they want to look good. So take advantage of it because we don't know what's going to happen afterwards. You can go, you vote, you do your thing, whatever you want, whatever you like, that's you. But why it's dropping, take advantage of it. If something drops in front of you, don't wait. Get it. You can ride the ride. You know what I mean? Because the trend of rates historically has been up, down, up, down. And I remember back when I started in banking, I did a 15-year at, I think, 1.99 was my lowest, maybe 1.5.
Whoa.
I mean, that's low. That's on a primary residence, but still. I mean, I think that might be our lowest of lows.
Oh my God!
Because now the fives are looking like low rates to where for the first 5 or 6 years of my career, if I gave somebody a 5% interest rate, they're like, that's high. So it's just crazy how the market shifts, and it's going to continue to shift. So and we can't control it. All we can do is pay attention. I mean, last year was one of the busiest years of my career because when the crash happened in 21. I turned my focus to investors when I became a broker, and my volume tripled in business because I was working with the right people. Plus, you just don't quit. The person you work with, you can call a bank, and it's no bank in particular. You're going to wait 2 to 3 days to get an answer, or they're going to sit behind their email. They're not going to talk to you, and that just drives me nuts. That's why I had to leave. I like to talk to people. But you got to keep going. The trends are the trends. We can't stop it. Just keep investing. Now it's going to be a good year. So something comes up, jump on it. Don't wait.
Awesome. And so then what do you see? What advice would you give to people that are in your line of work, right? That are mortgage brokers. What do you see that a lot of mortgage brokers maybe are doing that you would maybe critique? Or something that you'd recommend to new mortgage brokers that are getting started or want to build momentum?
If you are currently a mortgage broker and you want to look look at another broker, we have a weekly sales call or meeting on Thursdays. Why Nexa? We show you our comp. We have trainings on my calendar for each type of loan, whether it's Fannie, Freddie, DSCR, hard money, lines of credit, commercial. Like there's trainings every single day on every different loan topic. So if you're looking for support, Nexa is your place to be. Even if you're not, if you just want to make more money, like we get the max that we can get from our boss, Mike Cordes, and he's a great guy. And I'm so glad I came over here because from my smaller brokerage to now, I quadrupled my income in 1 year. And that's during this time. Think about that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, wow.
If you got the support and you got the team behind you, this is a very easy job. And I will always answer my phone. We have an internal page for the newbies that even come on there. It's like, hey, shoot me a message. Let's hop on a call. And this is what I would do. And I help them out because the more people you help, they're going to help other people and everybody's going to do better, which is the ultimate goal on investing. If you're going to do it, let's do it right. Let's do it smart and let's make some money.
Yes. Awesome. So having the right team in place, it sounds like is going to be number one, right? Joining the right team.
Your board of directors.
Your board of directors. There we go. It's catching on, guys. So having your board of directors, and then so as an individual, as an individual broker, in your day to day, what are some of the disciplines or I guess things that you do on a daily basis that you're consistent with that's continuously driving business?
So now really is being available and having my laptop. When I was brand new, you have to get out there. Toledo, you have a ton of marketing or networking groups to get out and go visit. Mm-hmm. Go hang out. Go switch cards with some realtors. Go meet the investors. Follow up a couple days later. Give them a call. Be like, hey, let's go get a coffee or breakfast. Let's get lunch. And just see how you can help each other out. It's just making that connection. Yeah, there's going to be some people that you just don't connect, but then there's going to be other ones. Like I really built my life with meeting people, talking, and networking. It's never gets old. It's never going to stop. I really wish I had more time to get out and do more. It's just that me being the only one right now, I still have to do my work and I got to close these loans. But which is why I'm looking to grow. So, I mean, if we're growing, and I've already actually got 2 starting this year, which is amazing because if I can't do something or if I want to go be out and about, like, hey, talk to Jared, he'll take care of you. Hey, talk to Chad, he's going to take care of you, and I'll still be out there bringing in more business. Then us being partners, we can simply split the commission because we're all licensed and doing the same thing. And bringing in more business. So it's the main thing. Mm-hmm. You have to network. Facebook. If you're a human being and you get on Facebook, you'd be surprised how many people will talk to you and be like, I can't believe you're not spam. Like they're excited to talk to somebody real off of Facebook. It's a great tool. Advertise. I don't know
much
about
you.
TikTok. Yeah. TikTok, Instagram. I don't know nothing about it. I'm slacking there, but I mean, it's out there. So, and it's going to be, this year's going to be crazy with the rates coming down. So, But yes, networking is where it's at. You have to always make yourself available and try to help. Once you start helping more, things just fall on the path. I've always went the way, if you do the right thing, it's going to work out. But if you come in and being greedy, just looking to make the most money that you can, good chance you're going to fail. So a quick example, small broker to where I'm at. Small broker, let's just say when you got pricing. Pricing's capped at $275. To make it easy, let's say it's $300. So my last broker would make me have to charge that full $300 on every loan that the client pays. My new broker lets me go down to $1 and I don't have to ask anything. So you think I'm going to charge my clients the max? Heck no, I want to keep doing business. So we lower the pricing, give them a better deal, give them the best rate that we can, and keep business flowing. We control the pricing. We don't have the corporate ceiling telling us, no, you're you're stuck. You have to charge this. We're here to help you. We will negotiate with you, and we're going to help you make money. So, and that's another big thing between retail and broker, because you can control your own pricing. You don't have to give them the highest rate possible because that's what your company tells you to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then in regards to, I want to touch base on the networking. You brought up a good point of like how you approach somebody when you're out there networking. Say you're at a meetup event, right? Or you're networking on Facebook. What's a lot. I've had this conversation with a lot of people. It's like, how do you introduce yourself to somebody and present value to somebody? You know, and it's a lot of it, in my opinion, a lot of it has to do with your tone, like how you're approaching somebody. You know, that's a big part of it. What you say, of course, is also important, but a lot of it's how you say it. You don't want to have commission breath, definitely not. So you know, coming from your perspective, like how do you approach people when you're at a networking event? Like, what do you you say? Like, what do you try to provide for them on that first conversation or that first impression?
Introduce yourself. Hi, my name's Jodey Thomas with Nexa Mortgage. What do you do? Ask about them first. Let them open that up. Let them talk, because really the main goal is to learn more about them. Facebook, I mean, it's just hit or miss, because I mean, I've been doing this for so long. It's like I really don't have a script. I just be myself. Like through college, I served. I've always talked and I've always worked with people. So you have to be a people person. Be about them, not about you. Let them tell their story. Right, so once they tell their story and learn, and then be like, see how you can help them, and then maybe they can help you too. Be like, you know, what kind of people can I bring to you that's going to help benefit your business? So, right. I mean, you gotta show them a benefit to them, to help them first, right. And then everything else is just going to fall into place, and you're going to make that relationship. Like, I've got people I've talked to. I mean, it's insane. Like, it's hard to remember. But when I was younger, I'd like go out at least 2 nights a week night. When I lived in Columbus, I'd be at a network event from 6 to 8 or 9 o'clock, exchanging cards. And then the next day was my follow-up phone calls, set the appointments, and then just go from there. And it was really that easy. Just don't be afraid. Yeah. If somebody says no, who cares? They say no. I mean, the no's are going to come. But when you get that yes, that one yes can turn into 7 more yeses underneath of them, because they're going to recommend you to the people that they know.
It's crazy how many friends you're going to make when you just start being interested in other people's stories, right? Mm-hmm. You know, when you go into these networking events, you know, instead of talking about, you know, what you do, talk about what they do, right? And just, you know, it's that common trope. I don't know if you've read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, but it's one of the most famous communication books of all time. It's one of my favorite books of personal development. But he talks about that, right? He talks about like how to be interesting to people. And it's not necessarily having the most interesting stories. It's not about having like talking about that time you went to the safari and hunted in the safari, right? It's like talking about it's starting a conversation about the other person and what the other person likes. You know, like let's say, you know, if I'm introducing myself to you at a meetup, I'm not going to just talk to you. I might introduce myself and what I do, but I'm not going to make that the sole purpose of the conversation. I want to figure out what you do. I want to have a conversation about you, you know, and understand you, instead of having this conversation just so you can understand who I am. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, people are selfish, right? You care about you, I care about me, and you know what's gonna bring you closer to me is having you like what I'm talking about and having you be interested in what I want to talk about, right? I mean, that's just human nature at the end of the day. So I love the fact that you brought that up. And so I mean, other than the networking events, like, have you seen like other, and I'm coming at this from a wholesaler perspective, like wholesaling and real estate, you know, investing, a lot of it is going direct to seller or like direct to client, right? So it's like either you're pounding the phones, you're sending like mailers, you're doing like internet advertisements. Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's what a lot of people in our business do. And there's a relationship side to it as well. Like there's people that build their whole book of business off of relationships with like realtors and wholesalers and things of that nature. But when it comes to mortgages, do you see a lot of people just sticking with like the networking side to build business, or do you see a lot of people as well have the same success with going and like doing any sort of marketing, like whether that be like cold calling, or whether that be other sorts of like more inbound channels?
Yes. So cold calling I have not done since I left the bank. It's just something that we were forced to do. It's not my style. How do you feel when somebody cold calls you? I mean, honestly, I mean,
Well, after doing it for so long, not too bad. I'll be honest.
It just depends, because you now have, like, when you pick up your phone, it'll tell you whether it's a spam call or not. So, but in face is my thing. I like the face to face. Some people still do the mailers and the cold calling and all that. I like to go meet realtors. I'll walk into a management office, insurance offices, like, hey, this is what I do. Let us know how we can help each other out and go from there. LinkedIn's big, Meetups big, meetup.com. There's so many different things out there just to get in front of people. Just find people like you. And if you're new, it depends on what you're looking to do. Like if you're a new realtor, you want to be friends with obviously more realtors, but investors. Find a new investor, partner up with them. You guys can grow together. It's crazy. And then you're going to be busy before you know it, because just like yourself, you haven't quit buying yet. You know what I mean? You're only buying more. So, and then you're doing more, and that's what the main goal is. So find like-minded people, and partner up with them. There's always going to be somebody new coming into this industry. I mean, it's a cycle. It's never going to stop. It's never. Real estate will never go away. Never. So if you want to get in, get some directors on your side and pile them up. Let's go.
Yep. I love it. Jodey, where can people find you at?
Let's see. Let's see. Jodey Thomas. It's a long one. www.jodeythomaslendingspecialist.com. Let's see here. You can find me on Facebook. My name's spelled differently. It's Jodey, Jodey. That'll be the biggest thing. But I mean, Facebook, LinkedIn. I got cards, 419-966-5058. That's my only phone number. That's the only one I use. Call, text, email. I will reply.
Awesome. And guys, we will have his links in the description or in the bio of this, with his website and the rest of his socials. And any last words that you want to leave the audience?
Hey guys, it's 2024 is going to be a big year. If you want to get involved, let us know. We will both help you, and we will help you build your portfolio. It's a lot easier than you think, and you don't need $50,000 in the bank. So let's get creative. Let's find a way to get you some cash and get you your first flip, and build you up a little pile, and then get yourself some buy and holds, and we'll get it done in a timely manner too.
Awesome. And Jodey, you are the absolute man for that. So I just want to say I appreciate you coming on to this. I think we had an amazing conversation, a lot different than we had with other podcast guests. And I think it was a great insight that you brought to the channel and into the audience. So I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, of course. Guys, so this has been the T.R.I.P Podcast. Check us out next week, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.
See ya, Mihran.